How's it going? I forgot that I found it. I have a video that I used to show the landlords that the screaming crackhead. I said in my first blog video about why one of the main reasons I left North Dakota, and that was because the screaming crackhead above me, and I'm sure everyone that hates me is like, "He's making that up." Well, I found the video, so I'm gonna put that here.
After delivering the thing to get the fuck out of this evil country. Take care of my new goddamn quicker.
Probably gonna stop every like 20 minutes or 30 minutes just to make sure all the videos are coming out fine with audio and everything. You never know. So there's seemingly not many things to say about me that are horrible, so it's you got to make things up. But one of the main things that would pop up, and not even everybody, not even most people never even heard this, but somebody claimed that I raped them. Now I'm gonna explain to you why that's complete fucking horseshit, and if you believe it, you're a fucking idiot. Now we got to start this story. We got to go way back. In 2013, well, in 2012, see, throughout elementary school, I only had one real friend, who went by JJ. And once that was through all elementary school, and once we got into junior high, we just drifted apart. You got 1,000 more kids, 3,000, I don't fucking know, a lot more kids, and we just drifted away. We were no longer, it was no longer two classes side by side to where we always saw each other or whatever. It was now we're each in 7 different classes, never see each other. So it just happened, unfortunately, and I just had no friends. Imagine that, right? So now in 7th grade, there was a girl that I started dating. 7th grade. It's crazy looking back now, but we dated for a month, which was the longest period of time I've ever dated a girl. And once my mom, as I was growing up, was obsessed with me having autism. She had to tell everybody, and it had to be a big thing. And autism awareness ribbons and autism meets at McDonald's. And so she told her mom, the girl's mom that I was dating, if he acts this or this weird way or whatever, he's just autistic. So her mom thought she had to tell her. So the girl's like, "Oh no, I'm dating a retard." So she, that would hurt her 7th grade street cred. So she broke up with me and started bullying me about it. Of course, it couldn't just be break up and done. It had to, it had to really nail in the coffin there to make sure that her reputation of a 7th grader wasn't ruined. So like she would call me a retard all the time and follow me around and insult me, and typical girl behavior towards me. But one day thing I just always stuck with me. We're in the cafeteria, and she's sitting at a table behind me, and she's like, "Hey," and I turned around, and she's, "You're a fucking retard, right?" Big smile on her face, and this table full of dudes, whatever people I had, kids I had no idea who they were, all just started laughing. See, I laugh at like pretty much anything, like as long as it's actually funny and you know, like a lot of immature shit, a lot of goofy dumb shit, and Family Guy and all that. Because I can take a joke, you know. I like jokes, unlike this generation, but I don't see how that's funny. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. And I just got really depressed at that time, really depressed, and felt really suicidal. Now, you know, contrary to what most may believe, of course, I've never faked being suicidal. Every time I've ever said it that I felt that way, I felt that way and felt that bad that I just real pain. I mean, I'm diagnosed with chronic depression. It hits and it hits hard. Usually an event sets it off. Other times it just hits out of nowhere for no reason. I just feel that bad. And that was around the time it really kind of kicked in. I mean, it first kicked in sixth grade, and we'll get to that in a different video, but it was just really bad. And the funny thing, though, is I was never acting out at school. I wasn't breaking rules and threatening to blow the school up or getting into fist fights like other kids were. Like I remember having to stand outside in the morning in the cold for like an hour as this principal went through every kid's backpack because some kid threatened to bring a bomb to school. I never did that shit, but you goddamn bet that I was treated like I did. It's just so weird. Like, just looking back, like, what the fuck did I do? But I got in a fight with my piece of shit scumbag waste of space brother at home, you know, nothing to do with school. And I pulled a knife out of the kitchen drawer and I threw it at him because I was so fucking angry because he just wouldn't stop just terrorizing me, taunting me. We'll get to my brother in another video. That's a whole other thing. But so I got arrested for that, because of the knife. And I got sent back to the crisis center, which I had already been there like 3 times by that point at the hospital. And but for some reason, there's like they had a meeting with the school. There was like a meeting between my parents and the school and the like crisis people. Why is the school involved? Because it's making it seem like I was this big, horrible troublemaker at school, but I didn't do anything at school. I'm being bullied at school, of course, but that doesn't matter. But they decided, so I was sent to the Meadows for a month through Christmas, and then from there I was sent to, I might get to this in detail in a different video, but I'm trying to get to you'll see why I'm going through all this, but I was sent to a partial placement for 3 months. Or, I'm getting way ahead of myself. I got shit mixed up. I didn't go to the Meadows and at this time. This was the first time I got in trouble with police at age 13 because I threw a knife at my brother. I was sent to crisis, and then I was sent to a partial placement, they called it. And the partial placement, I was there. I just got 2 big events that are like somewhat similar mixed up. I was at the partial placement. Oh, wow. No, that had nothing to do with the knife throwing. Why was I sent to partial placement? I didn't do anything. Okay, so I'm being bullied at school. Say I want to kill myself. Really fucking depressed. I'm sent to a partial placement. I got shit mixed up. So I get sent to a partial placement just because of my threats to myself. Like, I would literally tell the guidance counselor, like, I'm going to fucking get a noose and I'm going to aim myself out my window. That's how bad I felt. All these kids pointing and laughing at me every fucking day, calling me this, calling me that. My brother at home making me feel like shit all the time, as always. And my mom was a cunt back then and didn't seem like she gave a shit about me at all. So I'm at the partial placement, and I'm there for 3 months. I met someone named Shane. We became friends. We hung out. Then, shortly after, he moved away. And I could never see him again. So he was my only friend, my new friend, and then he moved away. After the partial placement, I got sent back to school, and I was put in an emotional support classroom. In this emotional support classroom, I met someone that we're going to refer to as Ugly Monkey Man. Now, we're going to refer to him as Ugly Monkey Man for the rest of this video, because you can't go to the court and go to the police about a video online if your name is not directly mentioned in any way. I know why my previous video trying to explain this situation years ago was, to my knowledge and what I was directly told, only got me in trouble that he could do anything about it, because I had like Chucky and Negan from The Walking Dead saying stuff about death in the video. So I understand that. So we're not going to do any of that, and we're not going to say any names in this video. I could be talking about Ronald McFucking Donald. Maybe I was friends with Ronald McDonald. You don't know that. So Ugly Monkey Man and I were in this emotional support classroom together. We did not get along at first. So then into the next school year, this is the end of 2013, and when I first became a brony at that time. So we're in 8th grade, and I had no I remember crying that my birthday's over the summer, and I cried on my birthday because I had no friends. I had no one to come over. Shane moved away. So Ugly Monkey Man, a kid with an afro, and a short tubby kid, are in that class, and we didn't get along at first, but then we kind of started getting along. I invited the 3 of them, plus a kid from, I don't remember what the class was. It was where you cut shit with wood. I don't remember what that's called. Because that's helpful. I need to learn how to spell big words and how to do taxes, but learn about cutting wood. I invited them over to my house for just a hangout. Let's see if we can become friends. Let's hang out. And the short tubby kid couldn't make it, but Ugly Monkey Man, the Afro kid, and the kid from the wood class came over, and it was November 23rd, 2013. I don't know why I remember that date. I believe that's what the date was, but I just remember it. And I was so, this is how pathetic it is. I was so happy to have friends. Like, I had us take a picture. We all 4 took a picture, and I printed it out and put it in a frame, and had that frame photo around with me at school. And one teacher, he was a nice teacher, despite telling me I failed a test in front of the whole class, which I didn't even realize that was like wrong until the guidance counselor said he shouldn't have said that in front of the class. Jokingly said, "Oh, you photoshopped your face into that photo with those other kids." Like, yeah, it couldn't be a real photo that I me with friends. You're right. I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. But so we had a great time, and it was an overnight sleepover, and we hung out. That was the beginning of that friendship. The Afro kid, I don't think he ever came back to my house again, but we were still kind of like friends. But me, Ugly Monkey Man, and the kid from wood class got along, or were tight from then on, until the next year. That's okay. Now it's the pieces of the puzzle are being fitted back together. Now it makes more sense to me, because I'm remembering shit better now. So we hung out a lot, had a lot of sleepovers. Always at my house. I didn't go to Ugly Monkey Man's house till later, so that I can remember. Biking, that's where I got introduced to biking, because I didn't really do much before that since I was little. So you ride bikes a lot. Ugly Monkey Man stole a bike. I don't remember where he stole it from. He stole a bike, had it was riding it around, then got caught with the stolen bike, and his mom called my mom, and was like, "Can we store this bike at your house?" Or it was something like that. "Can we store this bike at your house? Can you say that it's been his?" I mean, he was always that kind of kid doing that kind of shit. Also, it's so bizarre for a 14-year-old to have a full beard, full bushy mustache, full bushy, thick beard going the whole way side to side, down to the bottom of the chin, under the chin, going into the neck at 14. But, you know, I guess shit happens. So we became friends and we formed a band. Of course, it didn't go anywhere. A band called V16. I think I mentioned this in my first video, right? About why I don't talk to my dad. Because my dad said about. This was what the band my dad said about. We're not doing that concert that someone wanted us to do. Obviously, again, I get why, but why would you say that to your kid and be so mean and nasty about it? As me, Ugly Monkey Man, I was going to be the bassist. Ugly Monkey Man was supposed to be the singer. Kid from Wood Class was supposed to be the drummer. And then this other kid I met was supposed to be guitar. And we took, of course, back then, all the focus you have. You're not actually making music. You're taking photos, photo shoots, making masks. Of course, masks, because I love masks. So we all designed cool masks. They were cool masks for 14. But, so at the end of 2014, I get in a fight with my brother. I throw a knife at him. I get arrested. The school gets involved. I get sent to the Meadows, then a residential treatment facility that's been under investigation for staff touching girls, the teen girls, of course. While I was there, kid from Wood Class found new friends and decided to become a mumble rap douchebag. You know, the feather hair, the fake gold chain, the Adidas or Nike's tank top, the beanie, the Galaxy baggy shorts or baggy sweatpants, listening to Lil Pump. He became that, and it's sad because he was cool and I really liked hanging out with him when we first did. Then he just became a mumble rap douchebag. Got addicted to weed and nothing against weed, but. So when I came back, when I finally got out of that facility, went back to school, now I'm in 9th grade, woodcutting kids, got new friends, then it's just me and Ugly Monkey Man and his other friends that he had introduced me to. So we have Ugly Monkey Man, we have, I'm going to call him Christian. That's not his name, but I'm going to call him Christian. And I'm just going to say Ronald McDonald. And that's not his name, but it's a variation. So we have Ugly Monkey Man, Christian, and Ronald McDonald. That's the main three. So I became close tightly with those three. So it was the four of us mainly from then on. Me and Ugly Monkey Man made a new band called Horizons, and it was like, this is still before I finally got like actual recording equipment to be able to record instruments. I had a live drum set, I had all cheap stuff, not crazy expensive high quality shit. I had a cheap but full-size drum set, guitar and a bass, but couldn't record it because it all sounded awful when you don't have a proper recording equipment. And of course, if the instrument sucks, it's gonna sound like shit. It was originally instrumental music, and we had a lot of fun doing instrumental music, like, because we used Soundtrap, and we would kind of create these instrumental beats and samples and twist stuff around, and he could play piano good. And so yeah, we made an album called Deck of the Road in 2017. 2016, the album The Glowing Divide we made, that was a bit more advanced. And then by the end of, after that, we made music videos too. We had a YouTube channel, we made music videos, which was just us riding bikes to the instrumental music that we made, you know, nothing crazy. And then, but after that point, by the end of 2018, I got a Focusrite, and that allowed, and an electronic drum kit. So that allowed me to plug the kit in, record real drums, plug the guitars and the guitar and the bass in, record those, and then boost the sound and things like that. So I could finally actually record live instruments. So that's when I made my first solo album called Blind to the World, which was in the works since 2009. And that, so it took 9 years. So that's cool. That had 11 live rock songs written by me. And then, so we made the next Horizons album called Afterlife in early 2019, where it was then that live rock music with us singing. Okay, so like I'm fast forwarding through so much stuff to get to what matters. It's just you got to go understand the journey on the way there. But we were fucking tight. My parents hated him. Now I get why. No one at school liked him, but it was me and him. And so many sleepovers. Just, you know, you have that friend, or it's just you're so comfortable they just pop up at your house. It's like, all right, oh, okay, you're here. Let's go. Let's do something. It was just that close. And I tell people he's my best friend. They say, "Do you have a best friend?" Ugly Monkey Man. So, and it was just the way it was. So many up late nights, just, you know. And I did everything for him. I bought him gifts. I bought him, because when we did the photo shoot for the third Horizons album, I bought him a shirt because he loved this specific pony from, because I got into My Little Pony and he ended up getting into it. So, and then he found this like fan fiction of it and became obsessed with the character from that. I bought him a shirt with that character on it. For his birthday, I bought him a sword. One of those like red and black metal swords. Because nobody else bought him stuff for his birthday. Christian didn't. Ronald McDonald sure as hell couldn't. His parents sure as hell couldn't. And I did. At Christmas, I'd get him Sheetz gift cards. He was kicked out of his house one time during Thanksgiving. And I fought my parents to let him come over and be with us and eat with us for Thanksgiving. Nobody else ever did that. It's just crazy looking back on this. All the stuff I did. And he'd come over and I'd feed him. I always fed him. I always get Mountain Dews, 2 liters for our sleepovers. 1 for me, 1 entire one for him, and that was that. I'm gonna stop this to make sure this is all good. So, and I tried to become close with the other two, and I definitely became close with Christian because we'd hang out on our own. Like, and he wanted to make a movie, which never happened, but I started helping him with it, filming some teasers for him and whatnot. So, definitely became close with Christian. Now, Ronald McDonald, this is crazy. He told someone else that I was friends with at school that he didn't like me. Now, of course, okay, sure. Everyone's entitled to like and dislike whoever they want. He said that. I don't like him. Yet when he came to my house, I'd give him bowls of mac and cheese. I'd give him Mountain Dew. He stole money from me right off my dresser. So like people, you know, I was so just wanted friends as many as possible. And even ones that would say they don't like me, I would still do this stuff for. I would still have over. I'd still hang out with. And my mom would be like, "Why the fuck is Ronald McDonald here?" It's like we're just riding bikes. We're in the group. We're, you know. And like I didn't have a lot of respect for myself and would allow myself to just be, you know, treated this way, taken advantage of. And it just never really seemed to faze me. But yeah, so now Ugly Monkey Man originally lived in a trailer that was so... It truly takes effort. It doesn't just happen by any means. It truly takes effort to allow your living place to be this bad. I definitely don't imagine this being anything to do with Ugly Monkey Man, but his parents let this trailer become the most disgusting thing in that city. There was one room that was so completely filled with junk that it rose about 5 feet off the floor. So you go in there, you're climbing on stuff. You're just climbing over it. There, you couldn't see the floor. There was the entire left half of the trailer couldn't be accessed because there was so much junk piled up and ants and fleas everywhere. There were 2 cats there covered in fleas. Their hair was so thin, you just see the fleas jumping around and bouncing around on them. There were, where the parents slept, there was a bucket on the floor, and that was the bathroom. There was no running water. There were no laundry. There was none of that. So they shit and piss in the bucket. There was no waste removal. There was no, you just take it out and dump it. There was no water. There was no running water. It was fucking bad. And it just smelled like shit. That was the most disgusting fucking place I'd ever entered inside of in my life. I've been in abandoned houses more clean than that have been sitting for years and years and years. I don't know how in the fuck that's possible. How someone manages to do that, but they did it. I think like something, they did just stop paying the rent eventually, and they had to move into the guy across the yard from them into his trailer, which was a perfectly fine trailer, but it had bed bugs. And that guy was a fucking dick and a pedophile who got arrested for looking at child pornography, who, in the court transcript, which is on Google, they asked him, why did you do it? And he said, I just wanted to he said the most retarded excuse I've ever heard. I just wanted to see or understand the mind of someone who would look at that stuff. I don't think any more further needs to be said on that one. That was when he kicked, while they were living there, they kicked Ugly Monkey Man out. He kicked Ugly Monkey Man out, and that's when I let him stay at my place for Thanksgiving. Another thing I did for him was he had a 4-wheeler, and this was a little bit later, because he moved houses, and the landlord of that house said, you have to get rid of that. It just has to be gone. Can't have that. And so I let him... I had him bring it over to my house and park it behind my shed so that he wouldn't lose it, because I knew how much it meant to him. While I had to listen to my dad screaming and yelling, get rid of that thing! Get that out of here! That's an eyesore! Now, coming from my dad, calling stuff an eyesore, it's kind of ironic, but I fought. Said, no, that's his. Until he can have it back where he lives, whatever, I'm not getting rid of it. I don't want it to just be gone. Because it means so much to him. But, you know, who cares, right? No, so after a while, moved from that house, that trailer house, into a house with the aunt. So the aunt, his parents, the aunt, her big fat husband. That guy was, whew. No, there was this guy, it was just weird. This dude was so fucking weird. This like 8.5 foot tall guy that was huge. Never said a word. He'd wake up, go to work, come back, eat, go to sleep, repeat. That, just thinking about it, like I don't never think about that, but just thinking back on it now is just so weird. And apparently one day he couldn't take it life anymore and just lost it. I wasn't there for that. I kind of wish I was, because it would just be interesting to see any kind of emotion from this guy. I don't remember his name either. It was now the bank bought that house. It was the aunt's house, been in their family. The bank foreclosed, bought the upper half, let them stay downstairs, and started renting it out to people upstairs. Really fucking weird. So it was Ugly Monkey Man, aunt, parents, aunt's big husband. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And Ugly Monkey Man, because I wanted out of my house. I was this point I'm 19. My brother won't stop being a scumbag piece of shit. My parents were assholes. This is still before my dad went to jail. Shortly before. So Ugly Monkey Man, because I offered to pay rent, to help pay rent, had me move in with them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people downstairs. And there's 1, 2, 3 rooms, a bathroom, a kitchen and a small dining area. Very fucking small. Because can't have the upstairs. Did have the basement at least to go to. And of course, that house was nasty and disgusting too. They never cleaned that neither. Just a whole family tree, I guess. Never cleaned nothing. So, I lived there. Now, eventually, Christian moved in. And Ronald McDonald was there about 90% of the time. And this is where we started, shortly before we moved in there, we started working on a cartoon. The funny thing is now with AI, it could have been completely different. It's just weird to think about in how many ways a cartoon could have actually been way better with AI tools involved. I know, AI bad. And I'm not even talking about, like... Okay, this cartoon, I hand drew it, or like technically not by hand on paper, but I drew it on the computer, frame by frame. Which, yeah, that's better, of course. It's just thinking about how, because I wouldn't have gave a fuck back then. I was 19. I would have just, whatever's the easier way. But, just generate what I want to see. But no. We created a cartoon to get more people to come to our YouTube channel and listen to our music. So it was a cartoon of us, ourselves, the band, just me and him, Horizons, in a cartoon where we go through a portal and go into a cartoon world that's full of memes. Wrote the scripts, drew frame by fucking, and it was, my drawing's terrible, so it looked like crap, but it was still funny. And we tried to do voice impressions. Like, Homer J. Simpson. Marge, who clogged the goddamn toilet? I don't know, homie. Why don't you unclog the fucking toilet? Shit like that. Just, like, there was one episode where we were being attacked by flying Snoop Dogg heads, and one where a pony had, a unicorn had a magical power to turn everything into a dick. Stupid shit. And there's this Thomas the Tank Engine chainsaw killer coming after us. And we had the real life Peter Griffin in it. I paid him $100 to read lines as Peter Griffin for an episode. Because I had money to blow back then. And he did it. And we recorded our lines as ourselves and recorded did all the voices and you know, had ads for our music in the blah 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 blah. And I created definitely my first quote unquote OC was a lion named Aluna, a blue lion with a black mane that was gay and had rainbow eyeliner. It looked like Kovu from Lion King 2, but and this was the main thing we were working on at that point when I was living there with him. And everyone was in it. Christian was in it. This meth-addicted midget we knew was in it. Who stole things from me. This is right at the point where I started trying to become a furry and figure out... I knew I really wanted to be a furry and get in there. Now, Ugly Monkey Man hates furries, thinks they're stupid, and is so obsessed with ponies that that's the superior to him. He didn't like furry porn, because of course we're always talking about porn, and he wanted pony porn, screw the furry porn. And it's just, and he always talks shit on furry, so it's funny to think later who he'd become. Fake it wasn't real, but we'll get to that. So many thoughts are flying around in my head, and I'm trying to slow them all down to slowly go through this. Not like in the past where I tried to explain all this and it came out terrible because I was seething with rage, and someone goes, "That's the worst explanation video someone's ever done ever." Worse than Shane Dawson? And I don't even know who you are, person saying this. Someone said that on Twitter, and I was just like, I don't know who the fuck you are, but okay, guy. But, I mean, yeah, you can't explain shit when you're angry. And, of course, I'm angry still. To, an unholy extent, but it's kind of bottled up. So, we're working on this this show, this cartoon. Still making music videos off the Horizons Afterlife album. Now, this will always stick with me. There was one humongous kid, and his name was Mike. Doesn't fucking matter. His name was Mike, and he was a meth addict, but he loved heavy music, and I had wanted to do a heavy band with the screaming vocals, and he wanted to be in that. So we would hang out and talk about music, and he'd be there at the house that we were living at, and then he just moved himself in. He does this to people. Not anymore, I think, but back then, this is what he would do. He would just move in, hook up the Xbox, and sit all day and play Xbox. And he fucking stunk. One time, I don't know what, he had to have taken a shit. I mean, that's the only logical explanation. He had to have just taken a shit. He went to take a shower in this house, and the whole fucking house reeked like, I can't describe it. I can't sit here and explain it to you. I can't describe it. It smelled. He was in the shower. It smelled so fucking bad. It was inhumane. The stench that came off this person. It had to have been the first time he showered in 10 years. Oh, it was horrible. It was fucking horrible. And it came to eventually, and again, how many people are living in this house? That's right, now I remember. Ronald McDonald permanently moved in. Now, they never charged him rent. They kept taking my rent, right? But didn't charge Ronald McDonald. And sure as hell didn't charge Mike. And eventually, the dad of Ugly Monkey Man, this is weird. You want to know what he looked like just for the hell of it? Go watch the original My Bloody Valentine. And you'll see the guy, I forget the character's name. But the guy that doesn't look like he fits in with the group because he just looks 20 years older than the kids. He's got glasses and like a mustache, kind of curly. He's a big tubby guy, and he's dating the hot chick in the red dress. That guy, mirror, just with not all white yet. So the dad's like, while Mike was, I think he was out somewhere, the dad was like, it's time for him to go. He needs to get out. It's just that time. There's not all this room here for him. Now, I was the one that had to tell him. I told Mike, look, you gotta go. We got all these people here. It's just not enough room. I leave. I come back. Mike's there on the floor, sleeping. I'm like, what the fuck? He's back. And he started threatening me when I told him he needed to go, telling me, that I'm a pussy and I'm a bitch and he's gonna beat the shit out of me and I'm a big fucking pussy because I'm scared of spiders and just really, I don't remember the stuff he said, just a couple things, but he really ran at me. Now I wish, because I'm someone, of course, because of the autism, I don't come up with a comeback until like 25 minutes after I would have needed it. I wish I told him, at least I don't have 3 kids that eat their own shit, because he did. Don't know if all 3 of them did, but one of them did. And he's not around his kids. He's here living on the floor, homeless with us, smoking meth. He's not with his kids. But he comes back, and all of those people, except the fat guy that never talked, all of those people tell him, like, it was just me that was telling him he needed to get out. Not every single other person that was like, he needs to go. Because all of them felt he needed to go. Mike wakes up, corners me, gets in my face, smells nasty breath, nose is just barely touching, ready to break every bone in my body at a moment's notice. The dad, what's he doing? Standing on the other side of the wall, silent, just waiting if any altercation breaks out. He doesn't come out and tell him, I said you need to go, so go. This is my house. You need to leave. No, he let him get in my face and put blame all on me. Now I'll wrap that. I gotta edit to accidentally said his last name. We gotta wrap the Mike section up real quick. He went and moved in with someone else that I hung out with later, And when that person told him he needed to go, he threw a giant fit, took his water cooler thing, and like smashed it. Did other stuff, I don't remember what. But yeah, that's just the kind of person he was. Piece of shit. Now, eventually, Christian moved into that house too. And just lived there. Didn't pay any rent. No one ever came, the aunt never came at him for rent. So it's me, Ugly Monkey Man, Christian, Ronald McDonald, Ugly Monkey Man's mom and dad, the aunt, and her big huge husband. I don't even know how many that even is. And we're all in the room. In the living room is where me, Ugly Monkey Man, Christian, and Ronald McDonald are sleeping. Ugly Monkey Man's sleeping on a recliner. I was lucky enough at least to have my fucking mattress from my house. And I gave Ronald McDonald my other mattress. And I remember now, the person who says, I don't really like him. I just don't like him. I still went to the Goodwill, found a Pinkie Pie plush, because he loved Pinkie Pie, and bought and got it for him. And he cuddled with it every fucking night from then on. Ugly Monkey Man, he loved Princess Luna. I found a Princess Luna plush, got it for him. That was his fucking thing. You never saw him without that thing. He brushed that thing's hair. You know, who cares what I do? Doesn't matter. This is around the time, now this point, again, this is like 6 years into our friendship. The whole time he's been basically a caveman, big huge beard, mustache, scraggly hair, never washed, dirty clothes, ripped holes, ripped jeans. But when you're living in that trailer, I can see why just not giving a shit. But this is when we were living there. This is where shit got weird. Ugly Monkey Man starts shaved his beard completely off, shaved his mustache, growing his hair out long, and wearing women's leggings, women's shirts, and dog collars. Not even like collars that you like goth people would wear, you know, or furries would wear. Literal just dog collars, and they were always fucking coated in cat hair and lint. It's like I don't remember where he got these. It's just he just started wearing them. He put like a jewel on them, and it's like, okay, I'm not judging. Do whatever the hell you want. This was a very drastic transition in a very quick amount of time. Now, of course, me and him and everyone else in our group, except for Christian, we're not getting no skins. There was no, and we were all desperate, and it just drives you nuts eventually to where you'll do pretty much anything. Now, he would come over to my house, because eventually, I'm trying to think, wait a minute, if you came over to my house while I was living there, and we fought before I moved out, because now I'm a little confused on the timeline. We must have patched, yeah, I mean, we did, but it's just hard to remember the order of things, man. This is years ago, and I don't fucking think about it, but, okay, so while I was there, me and him started, he started trying, I was the only one that got him gifts, gift cards, clothes, presents for his birthday, presents for Christmas, new shirts, treated him like a human being, and no one else really did. His parents sure as hell didn't. No one in his family did. He hated them all. I'll add real quick that his dad tried to come on to me. This is a man in his mid-50s. We were walking to Weiss one time. Just me and him walking to Weiss to get stuff, and he tried to propose that me and him start doing sexual things together. And I just turned 18. Or was it 19? Well, when did I move in? Was it? Might have been end of 2018 that I moved in, I think. Then I was, yeah. So I was 18, and he kept saying that, to himself, he's legal now. It's fine. He's legal. He's known me since I was 13. Yeah, I couldn't even find the words to say no. I just stayed silent. I had no fucking idea what to say. That was definitely one of the most uncomfortable moments of my life. But anyway, so me and Ugly Monkey Man, he started just seeing me differently. and wanting to attempt to become closer with me in a different way. Again, to reiterate how close to friends I believe that we were, I remember taking, because we do photo shoots for the band and stuff, and again, we had that first photo we ever took. I put like a photo for every year we knew each other, back side to side, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. Like, and the best friends this many years until forever. You know, because I thought we were, best friends. But again, this is where shit became weird. And I feel like if this never happened, we'd still be hanging out today. But anybody that spends even 5 seconds with me knows that I love ass. And he would flaunt his ass to me in these leggings that he would wear, and that he was wearing. Had a couple pairs, and everything started one specific night. I must have went over to my mom's, even though I wasn't living there, because I think it was right around this time my brother went to the army, so it was, and my dad was in jail, so it was just my mom. So you go over to the house, and it was no big deal, to my house. So we're hanging out in bed on the mattress, sitting there, because it was the only thing in that room to sit on. There was an extra mattress in in one of the rooms, and he's like, "You should grab my ass," and like cuddling closer to me, like, because I was like, it looks pretty good in those leggings, ain't gonna lie, is what it is. And it just went on from there. So I'd squeeze his ass in the leggings, and he fucking loved it. It ain't nothing to do with my magic hands. It's just he wanted attention from a person. He wanted someone to see him in that way and have affection towards him, give him that kind of attention, because I tell you what, motherfucker, they want not another soul in the hemisphere that was doing that for him. Myself either. So that would have been why I was okay with grabbing it. So it went on from there. From there, it became a little more ass grabbing, putting my face in his ass, leggings, and that was all good. That was all fine and dandy. Now, where stuff became a problem was he wanted to date me. So he was like, all right, well, next step, let's date. And I was like, look, man, I don't want to do that. I wanted to find somebody new. I wanted to find someone I didn't already know, and I wasn't into him fully in that way. The ass, one thing, the rest, it just wasn't for me. I wanted to find somebody new, and that destroyed him. And he became cold to me, became mad and upset to me, and wanted me to move out of that house. Told me, pack your shit. Eventually, I became so tension-filled between us, wanted me out. And he was bad shit-talking me to Christian and Ronald McDonald. I mean, I don't give a fuck about Ronald McDonald, but me and Christian were pretty close. And he was talking shit on me to him. So he would treat me like shit. So they were treating me like shit while I'm living there, just because I don't want to date Ugly Monkey. And Christian has no idea why. He doesn't know about the stuff going on between us, because me and Ugly Monkey Man were like, this is not reaching outside of the two of us. No one else is knowing about this. So when we would text, and he would send me videos of him in panties, of his ass close up, walking across the room to tease me, because he knew it was working and getting a reaction from me, we would wipe the chats, delete on both ends, so that they did not ever, by any possible reason, come across it. No one could know. And so I was like, yeah, I'm getting ready to fucking get out of here, because this is bullshit. But what pushed me out from my decision was the aunt coming to me and going, I'm raising the rent I'm asking from you. I'm out of here. She wanted more money from me. Well, again, Ronald McDonald, Mike, Christian, but lived there for however long that they did, as long as they did. Ron McDonald was permanently there after a while. Never asked a dime from them, but for me, I just had to be the one to pay rent, only one to pay rent. So I moved back to my mom's, and it was that was a nightmare. Now we'll get to that. I don't know what my mom's problem was. It had to have been menopause or something, but something at that point, it was bad. Now, but this is important here. We patched things up after I moved out. I think it was just having time apart and not being in the same room 24/7 every day helped. And he came over to my house with another friend of his that I'd known a couple times and hung out with him a couple times. He's cool. I'd still if I came across him there, I'd be like, hey, what's up? Let's chill. It would never happen because I was never we were never each other's friends. It was mutual friends. But I think he's cool. He was certainly a cool person. But he came over with Ugly Monkey Man. Now, Ugly Monkey Man's mom bought him booze. Heavy booze. And he wasn't 21. This was again, we're 19, 20. Or 18, 19. She bought him booze. Heavy fucking booze. While we were living at the house together. Lots of booze. He came over to my house, my house, with the other kid, and shitload of booze. And he got himself fucking wasted. And he threw himself, the other kid had passed out already, he threw himself on top of me and kept trying to kiss me. That was a no for me. I did not want that. Like the Hungry Pumpkin says, no, I don't want that. He was just giggling and laughing, and he fell off because I had an inflatable air mattress and I was on that, and he just fell off me, and I kept trying to come back, and I kept pushing him away. And again, he's wearing this dog collar, and he has a leash, and he has the leash connected to the dog collar, and he's wrapping it around my arm and tugging at me to bring me upstairs to the room up there. And I'm thinking, to me, it's not like anybody else in today's day and age. Oh my God, that alone is rape. Trying to kiss someone. I didn't care. I'm like, he's drunk. I don't want to kiss him, and I'm not gonna. I'm just pushing, so I'm gonna push him away. I never thought nothing of it. I didn't give a shit. It didn't bother me. I didn't fucking care. That's why these things I never brought up, because I just didn't fucking care. Like, could you imagine if I did that? If I got drunk and was kissing someone? But he pulled me upstairs, and I'm like, oh, so what? I like when he sits on my face. I guess he's gonna do that again now. So I'm just gonna wobble along. I'm just gonna go with the flow. The fuck do I care? Maybe I'll get sat on. That's fine with me. So I followed him upstairs. And we went into one of the bedrooms that had a mattress. And he threw me onto the bed, got on top of me, and indeed sat on me. Now, you can ask anybody that has had sexual contact, that has sat on me, because that's the only thing I ever want. When I jerk off, sorry if this is TMI, but it's important to know the details. You'll notice I only do it. I have to do it. Every time someone else does it, it hurts. They don't do it right. It's not good at all. I will push your hand away to do it myself. You can ask any, and of course, I'm sure everyone's just gonna, obviously everyone's gonna lie. That's not true. That's fucking true. That is a fact. I don't even remember anyone else. I cannot at one time recollect anyone ever bringing me to finish with a hand job. Never. Or even a blowjob. I can't reach it because I'm so used to doing it myself since I was fucking 12. So yeah, it just doesn't work for me any other way. But before I even got to that part, he's
So he's sitting on top of me. No one's me holding anybody down or restraining anybody. He's on top of me. I'm under his weight, which is quite hefty. He pulls my pants down and starts going for my dick, trying to sucking it. Immediately, blah, slobbering, sucking on my dick. Sucking and sucking. I'm trying to push him off because I want to jerk myself off while his ass is on my face. And he wouldn't stop. He would not. He was relentless. He's gonna suck my dick. He keeps going back. He's pushing my hand away. I'd like to know where the rape is there. I'm missing it, I guess. I'm missing that. How that's where the rape is here. I guess, I mean, I don't know. Is it just simply limplessly going along with what he's doing, with what we had already done like 80 times? That's rape because he's drunk? I mean, you know, I would see it as if I drug him upstairs, threw him down, and started touching, because that's not what happened. And he was completely fucking wasted, so how can he tell you any different when he doesn't remember, when he doesn't know what happened? Because he was completely wasted out of his mind, and I'm just going along with it. I'm 19, just going along with it. I know, like, the amount of people I know in my life I could count on both hands. Life is small. It's just us. Fucking cares. If he's gonna sit on me, I'm just gonna let it happen. That's all this was. Letting it happen. What had already been done dozens of times. And it, you know, we eventually finished and went on with the night. And then finally, I moved into my own apartment. So I'm living in the apartment. And, of course, he hated being at his house. He hated being with his family. He hated them. So he started spending all the time in the world at my apartment. He slept over the night I got it. When I said that I woke up in the morning and found a bed bug, and a friend was there, kids were there. I say kids, we were 19. He was one of them. Ugly Monkey Man, Christian, Ronald McDonald, and somebody else were there the first night in my apartment that I got. And he was there constantly. He was literally a 2-minute bike ride up the road. Not even say up the road because that sounds long. It was right, his fucking house and then the apartment were fucking right there. Because he didn't want to be at his house, he wanted to be there. And he was there all the time. And all that continued. He never got that wasted around me again. But he still continued drinking and would be but buzzed and but completely coherent. That was the only time he ever got that wasted, was at my house. But he'd come over to my apartment and it was like it would have like something heavy, but then like lemonade, like Mike's Hard Lemonades, which I drank a lot too at that time. I started getting into those because of an adult got me into them, somebody else unrelated. But that continued. The face in ass, me jerking off, him just loving the attention. We would cuddle and watch My Little Pony together. And that just went on. We never did anything together again sexual when he was drunk. One Mike's Hard Lemonade and a sip of something is not drunk. That's, drinking a drink. It's like the equivalent of drinking a cup of fruit punch. You're not getting anything from that. I never saw him drunk again after that. That I can recollect. He may have gotten drunk. I remember one time he did get drunk, and Christian was also there, and the person I started dating was also there. So nothing went down between me and him, because I was there with the person I was dating. That he did get quite buzzed that night, but nothing happened. Now, okay, I'm gonna stop this to make sure it all looks good. So, again, as I said previously, this is where I started trying to become a furry for the first very early stages. No Sony yet, just knew I wanted to be a skunk because I love Pepe Le Pew and skunks. So, I was trying to get into I was in the Altoona fur chat, trying to make some friends. And as I always do, because Ugly Monkey Man wanted new friends too, and wanted to kind of be a part of this, despite hating furries, I showed him how to make a Telegram account, and got him into the group, and tried to introduce him to people, because I always did everything I could to help him. At this time, I was hit by a car on my bike by somebody unknown to me, on purpose, under like 5 bright streetlights, as I was against the curve, against the sidewalk, on the very butt crack end of the street. And all of a sudden, because me, Ugly Monkey Man, and Ronald McDonald are all on our bikes, I'm in the back of the row, I hear crash! I'm bashed right the fuck into, flipped onto the street, bike totaled, because somebody decided it would be funny to hit me on purpose with their fucking car. I was fine, thankfully. The bike was totaled. And the cops come out, and of course, they saw I didn't have lights on my bike. However, that was a completely unrelated issue due to the fact that that had nothing to do with me being hit. It was at night, yes. However, we were directly under a street light, against the sidewalk, very well-lit area, a very massive open street where you certainly see where you're going. But they literally, of course, the driver got away with it. The cops, this is Altoona police, are fucking scumbags. Press charges on me for not having lights on my bike. And then when I went about it, the guy that I saw for it just threw it away. He's like, "You can just leave. I'm just gonna drop this. Don't worry about it." That guy's cool. He wasn't in Altoona police, of course. He was somebody else. But yeah, that got dropped. And it's the same police force, by the way, that caught Luigi Mangione, whatever, the guy that shot the CEO. A lot of S's, goddamn. That McDonald's, like the amount of time I've been to that McDonald's. So that was wild for that to happen there. So okay, this is where the important parts of the story happen. So I joined the furry group. I start talking to a guy who's a jackal who lived in a house, not anymore, lived in the house behind the hospital up there. I went out, started hanging out with him. He let me bring my music equipment over there and started trying to make music. My other band, not Horizons, a different band, started trying to we put early demos together, and we're recording them there. He introduced me to, he had a group chat that had him, now this guy, I don't remember his name, a guy in a wheelchair, an older furry in a wheelchair, who was like had a wolf, not a good looking fursuit by any means, it was like just a head or something. He died, and the Pittsburgh furry group made him the picture for a week or something like that. And also in that chat was my first boyfriend. And I'm going to try to just not mention him at all by name, but if you knew me for a while, then you certainly knew him. Or just knew about him. It was a husky. So they're in that group. I don't remember. And there was there's no way she was in that group chat. She was in the main group chat. But she was friends with him for some reason. So I started hanging out with that guy, and once went over with the guy a couple times to the old furry's house or apartment. Now they were both zoophiles. So the person that y'all paid a tribute to in the Pittsburgh furry group had him as the picture. The old man, he was a zoophile, and so was this jackal. And they were in this group chat. They were sharing dog dick pictures, like close-up German Shepherd, big, fully erect dicks. And this is me first interacting with people in the furry fandom. I literally thought that was just the way it was. I literally fucking thought that was normal. I didn't think anything of it. I thought, oh, furry. So this is for it. You have the art, and then you have this, and I swear to God, I thought it was just normal. I'm autistic, I have Asperger's, I don't understand anything in life. I thought that was just the way it was. So, and the husky, we meet at the guy's house to see if we want to date, because I said I'm single, and he said he likes, which he likes, turns out, by knowing him, he'll fuck anybody. Didn't matter. And he wanted to fuck me the day we met. And I was like, no. And I was like, still nervous to that, and didn't want to do that really at all. And I don't, still, to this day, never have no interest. I don't have an interest in that. Getting irritated. And that guy, the Jackal, on his computer showed me he had loads of zoophilia videos. Got humans fucking dogs and horses and shit. Just showed it to me like, just, nothing of it. And I came over to his place with Ugly Monkey Man and asked the Jackal to cuddle Ugly Monkey Man because I knew he needed attention and wanted that kind of affection. This is all I fucking did, was try to get as many people as I could to show him care and affection. Because I was the only one doing it, and I knew he wanted it, and I wanted to make my quote-unquote best friend happy and feel good. But, I'm trying to see where we're getting at here. So we started working on season 2 of that cartoon. And there was a girl in, I think, the Altoona chat who was friends with the Jackal and the old guy. So because we all knew each other, she started talking to me, and she was 15. Might have been 14 even when we first started talking. And she could draw pretty decently, so I wanted to have better looking drawings in our season 2 of our cartoon, better than mine. So I was like, hey, you want to draw some stuff for the cartoon? And she was like, yeah. And we started doing video chats where me, Ugly Monkey Man, Christian, a husky boyfriend, and her were talking about the second season and thinking of ideas, and I was writing scripts. And it's a shame, of all shit aside, it's a fucking shame that never happened, because the ideas I had for season 2 were fucking amazing. That would have took off. That would have been big. They were seriously good ideas. Everyone's like, yeah, right, blah blah blah. No, they were good fucking ideas, and I'll stand by that to the end of time. Would have been a billion times better than the first season. But me starting dating the husky is what threw everything down. So me and Ugly Monkey Man patched things up when things got weird, but we're good. But me dating the husky is what threw that down the toilet. Like, to where because again, Ugly Monkey Man was always at my apartment, and the husky would come over to my apartment to see me, and Ugly Monkey Man told me, don't kiss him in front of me. Don't be affectionate with him in front of me, because it would make him feel bad, because he was still single. So, yeah. I mean, that just right there sums it all up. Him being single, he doesn't have that. So he's pissed, he's upset, he's angry. And me and him just started bickering. Bickering. And this girl, who we just introduced to us, doesn't know that we, really doesn't know fucking shit that we were best friends tied to the hip for 6-7 years already, and had this thing going on. And the reason why we're bickering is because I didn't want to date him, and I found someone else, surprisingly. That's why we're bickering. Not because I just want to be an asshole to who I consider to be my best fucking friend, who I've taken in when he was kicked out, who I've bought gifts for, presents for, done everything under the moon, kept his 4-wheeler for him, doesn't know any of this shit, just sees us fighting, and he's going to her, and again, by this point, he's, I don't know if you're 20 or 21, and she's 15, he's going to her, and talking to her, and talking to her, and talking to her, and forming up a bond, and they started dating. She became really close with him. Really close. To where they would talk on Telegram over the phone for hours, multiple times. I have a screenshot still. The only things I still have, where she was trying to get people to come at me for bring this whole thing. Well, we'll get to this, but I have the screenshot because she shared it and someone sent it to me, and it just showed her and him on Telegram showing all the. It was either Discord or Telegram. I think it was Telegram. Because I can look. Yeah, I remember now. It was Telegram. All the calls, the call logs. She showed all the call logs between the two of them, which is a weird thing to do, considering this age difference. 15, 20, or 21. Like, Ugly Monkey Man... And it's after I moved out of the apartment because of the bed bug issue, which, again, you can just go listen to the previous blog if you want to know the situation about that with Kathy. Ugly Monkey Man came over to my house and was on the phone with her. And they were talking and goofing it up and laughing. And the big thing between me and Ugly Monkey Man was just fart humor. And he got her hooked on that, so she's making fart noises over the phone. They're laughing it up. And... me, I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't care. Or, it wasn't, what am I supposed to do about it? Good. To me is, oh, good, he found someone. Maybe him and me can be friends now and just be friends. Both have someone and go from there. And I remember him having a fight with his aunt about it. About the age difference. And his defense was that she was a slut when she was young and dated everybody. And fucked older guys or something like that. I was there for that at their house. That argument. So they knew too. Family knew. But, no one cared. They had each other's names and their bios. And I tried to tell this to an admin, Zeska. And Zeska's response was, I told him to tell the admin of the Altoona chat. And he just wouldn't. They didn't care. Not my problem. Didn't care. Didn't involve him. Didn't involve, attacking me. So, didn't care. So I tried to tell people a 15-year-old and a 20-year-old were dating, and all the way back in early 2020, and nothing, no one cared. Now, a very reliable source, not on everything, but on this type of front, said that when he went to the house that Ugly Monkey Man and his family first moved into, when they had to leave their trailer before moving in with the aunt, the house with that pedophile guy, said, this friend of mine said he went there, because he would go there often because he knew the girl that lived there, that Ugly Monkey Man and this girl were there in one of the rooms, fucking. Now, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that at all. So, I mean, talk about rape. That's statutory rape right there. Because he didn't know about the age difference. And he told me, yeah, Ugly Monkey Man was there fucking some girl. And he said they came out afterwards. I said, what'd she look like? Her description. I'm like, oh! Okay, interesting. Wow, that's certainly a piece of information. Yeah, anybody that defends this person looks really fucking stupid. Now, a further thing. Now, this is unfortunate. Now, the N-word. Growing up, racism, and every fucking person around me in school, my dad, my brother, just everyone I knew was extremely racist. And said the N-word like confetti. And so, very quickly, did it just not... It just, to me, is just another word. Like avocado. It's just a word. There's no meaning behind it. Of course, there is. But unfortunately, because of, I had TSSs when I was growing up in school, and they would come to the house, and I had to get a new one once because one quit or left because they constantly were just in and out, in and out, in and out. I went through so many, but one was gonna be a black girl. I don't know how my mom like just knew that, but she said to us like the next TSS she's black, and my dad said, "So when's homegirl coming?" Right off the bat, before even meeting her. And she wasn't, when we met her, she wasn't like that. When you say homegirl, you think ghetto. She wasn't ghetto. She was a church black lady. Jesus. But it's just that, just like that. When's homegirl coming? She's black. She's a homegirl. Now, Ugly Monkey Man just found that word to be hilarious. As did Christian. As did Ronald McDonald. As did Mike. As did every fucking person we hung out with. So it just became a word you just say. And it became like, instead of the word fuck, we would just say the N-word. Stub our toe, N-word. Fucking bolt won't tighten on a bike, stupid. N-word. Dead fucking ass. That's how it became. And it was so weird because every person that we got in our friend group, same thing. The midget meth head we used to hang out with, he said it. The husky that I was dating, he'd say it. His brother would say it. Everybody said it. Like, how are you supposed to be offended by or understand why a word like that is offensive and be aware of the unfortunateness of such a word when you hear it like the word hello? And the girl, the furry girl, started saying it. We had a group chat where we'd send memes. Her and Ugly Monkey Man would spell it out. We had a sticker pack of the alphabet, and it was so funny. And it was funny. It's not funny. That's not what I mean. I'm saying just at that time, everyone said it, and it was funny. So she'd say it. So she'd say it constantly too. And it's like once you got into this group of people, you said it. And you said it constantly. So, if you want to consider somebody that says that word a racist, the both of them are racists. Which, looking back, so I'm a racist, I said it, we all fucking said it. I don't say it anymore, and I have video of him saying, of Ugly Monkey Man saying it still. I have the compilation that I had in that YouTube video. N-word, 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 because we would constantly film. We filmed everything because we had the YouTube channel for the music, and we'd film us riding bikes, we'd film us recording the music, we'd film behind the scenes of making the music videos, and we'd be filming or waiting for something to get in position, and he'd just turn to the camera and go, N-word. So, yeah. There's that. Just throwing out all the confetti here. Now, I don't remember what drove the nail in. I just know Ugly Monkey Man was like, I got a girlfriend now. He's got a boyfriend now. I don't fucking need him anymore. And all we're doing now is just bickering. So fuck him. Me. So basically he got that girl to, do what he does best, which is feel sympathy for him. Feel bad for him. Cry for him. Cried to her about me, about how horrible I am. And I get her not understanding that it's bullshit because she doesn't know me. She doesn't know him. She's known us for a couple months. Barely. You don't know that I took him in when he was kicked out. You don't know I'm the only one that bought him, that would get him food when I went to McDonald's. That would get him new shirts. Get him a sword for his birthday. Tried to help him meet other people. Was the only one showing him affection that he so desperately craved. You don't know that. You're just seeing the ass end now of us arguing and bickering because I didn't choose to date him and now I have a boyfriend. That I'm not allowed to kiss my boyfriend in front of him. So, one day, he just blocks me. I tried to tell that girl that the jackal was a zoophile, and she didn't care. She didn't believe me. She just shrugged, did the shrug emoji, and went on with her day. She didn't care. So we're no longer talking. Blocked, gone, it's over. I'm not talking to Christian anymore. I'm not talking to Ronald McDonald anymore. I'm not talking to Ugly Monkey Man anymore. It's over. That was mainly when I rekindled with one of my other friends, the one who saw them fucking, and got a band started up. Well, one that was already started up, but finally got it to go. Then all of a sudden, now I'll also say this: before I even made Rex, when I was still just Skunk, when I was going to Jackal's house to record music with the meth addicted midget that I used to fucking frequent with, and my friend, the ugly midget, or he was ugly. He looked like Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean. He looked like Mr. Bean. It was very funny. This dude was a fucking scumbag. Why are you insulting people? So this dude was a piece of shit. He stole like 6 video games right off my entertainment center, left the Gap on the shelf, took them and sold them. Then, of course, my cat's using the litter box right now. Scrape. Hey. So, left the Gap there on the shelf and took them and sold them. Then blamed my friend and got us pinned against each other. Had us ready to fist fight. That's the kind of person he is. He stole Axe body sprays and deodorants from Jackal's apartment. The first time I ever brought him there. Because somehow, conveniently, which I guess is good, because then I never brought him back and he never stole more shit. But Jackal had happened to film a walkthrough of his apartment before we got there. Which, of course, now it sounds like, well, yeah, to make sure nothing gets stolen. Yeah, that's a good idea, but he told me it was for something. Like, there was somebody that wanted to see or something, and he showed, and that's why he did it. But it could have been just to make sure nothing gets stolen. But then something gets stolen, because the meth addicted midget stole Axe stuff. So he messages me, "Where's my Axe stuff? Like, it's gone. It was there before you guys came over, and I was gone." I don't know. I left there with the shirt on my back, and my other friend left there with the shirt on his back, and the midget had and he wasn't actually a midget, so it's fine calling him a midget. He was just short, really short, but he wasn't a midget. Had a one of those drawstring bags with him. He stole them. Now, of course, Jackal's big, ugly boyfriend, who wasn't there and was away, threw a fit and goes into the fur chat on Telegram. "Skunk or one of his friends stole Axe from my boyfriend." It's like, so before I even have made Rex, I'm already having shit talked about me for something I didn't even do. Isn't that one? Isn't this magical? So, yeah. So I got that out of the way there. Once I started dating Noski, I really didn't go to. And when the fight broke out between me, my friend, and the midget because of the stolen video games, that was right after that. The band that we were trying to do broke up, and so we no longer went over to his house, and I just stopped talking to that guy anymore. Which, good. I mean, he gets off to, real life animal porn. And then that guy died. The old guy died. Now, I'll hate that old guy till the day I fucking die. Because, of course, this femboy bunny... I don't know why it's so hard to get femboy bunny ass in my face. But, and especially now, of course, it's kept from me like the Holy Grail. Holy Grail that it is. That was friends with Jackal. Came over and we went out to eat at a buffet. And then he was going to sit on me that night. Now, he thought we were going to have sex. me, him, and the husky that I was dating. Like it was going to be a big thing, which that was never on my mind. But I know now, knowing more people, that that's automatically assumed that everybody, every guy, we're having anal sex tonight, and that's what everybody wants. I don't want that. I just want to be sat on, and but before we could do that, we had to go to the old guy's house for some reason and watch a fucking movie, a terrible movie. I don't remember what it was. Don't know why that had to be on the clock, on the calendar of things to do, but we did, and I was really fucking tired toward the end of it. I was tired. I wasn't mad. I wasn't upset. Anything to do with the fact that we weren't doing sex stuff then. I was just tired. I would have much preferred we were not here with the 70-year-old man watching a movie. I would prefer I'm under this bunny's cake because it was the only time I ever managed to get it. But the bunny felt uncomfortable because of the look on my face as I was sitting there on this guy's floor. I was just tired. And he thought I was, like, angry that we weren't doing sex stuff right now. So when we went back to Jackal's place finally, he left. Said goodbye, not, like, huffed off, but was like, bye, I gotta leave early, I'm sorry. He didn't have to. He thought I was angry. And I passed out right afterward. So, fuck that scumbag piece of shit, old fucking zoophile fucking old man. And I hope he rots in the ground. In hell. Because of him, we couldn't have just gone from the buffet right back to Jackal's house. Nope. Couldn't have done that. You know, that's my life. But, okay, so that's all over. So, no longer talk to Ugly Monkey Man. Blocked. All of a sudden, I first started put together that really bad, old fursuit in those early videos I did. Now, I wish that I didn't right away start making nude, porn videos. I wish I didn't right away. And I remember the first time I posted one, the first one I posted in the morning, something that never happened before. Wake up to over 100 notifications on Twitter because people were going nuts over it. Never would have expected that in a trillion years. It was literally that. I go to sleep, I wake up, boom, it's blown up. That's not, to most people, of course, that's not blown up, but when you first make your account 2 days later or something, yeah, that's blown up. And then I kept making more, and people were paying me, and so Rex the Skunk's born. I started trying to get a fursuit. The stimulus check helped with that. But one day, there's a knock at the door. Oh, no. This was where the nightmare begun. I wake up, some girl that I don't know, and that never happens either. A girl's in my inbox. What? Texting me saying, do you know this girl, the girl? She's saying, you and your friends raped her. First of all, what? Who? What, friends? Rape? Forced anal or vaginal sex? No. God, no. Turns out, and she messaged my boyfriend too, who had nothing to do with it. And again, I never met that girl in person, ever. Never met her once. But she's in this Discord server with these people, I don't know, saying, Rex the Skunk raped my friend. And none of them believed her. And then this is where she sent the screenshot of them calling, and I don't remember why she sent it. But just her and Ugly Monkey Man, all their call logs of how often they call each other. And then that day, a detective's knocking at my door, and open it up, and immediately he's like, I swear to God, he immediately was like, I know this is clearly bullshit. I just have to follow up and talk to you about it. And I said, you know what, motherfucker? Let's go. And I went. I didn't have to. I told him, let's go down to the station and let me tell you exactly what the fuck's going on here. And I told him everything. I told him about, him being upset that I didn't want to date him having a new boyfriend, that he's with this underage girl, and I showed him the proof of that. Because at that time, the names were still in each other's bios and all that. And he said to me, now if Ugly Monkey Man told people that I, held him down and raped him anally and, forced whatever the fuck, the only thing that detective told me that Ugly Monkey Man said that I did to him was make him suck my dick, which is very much not fucking true. He was the only time he ever sucked my dick, had me pinned underneath him, pulled my pants down, and went at my dick. My arms restrained under his heavy fat thighs, my body under his heavy fat body. There was certainly no forcing him to fucking do anything. He's on top of me, trying to kiss me, then on top of me, forcing my hands away from my dick as I'm trying to reach, barely able to move my arm up to jerk myself off. He's doing that. He's forcing to suck my dick. So yeah, no forcing, no rape. Now, what he did, and again, he never talked in this fur chat that I had him added to. Never interacted with anybody in it, never talked in it. Was just there, because I was trying to help him meet new people. And he said and he was jealous. That was the bigger thing. That's right. He was angry and jealous that those videos I was making were getting attention and people were sexually attracted to me and because people were blowing me up every day. There were constantly these new messages from new accounts on Pornhub, on Telegram, on Twitter, everywhere, and like all these new people. And and he was upset about that. He said I had a boyfriend now, that I was getting all this love and attention. My life was finally breaking out into the world. No longer was it just this little group of dirty, grease-covered, nasty bike riders yelling the N-word. It was finally something else. Finally getting out away from that world, and getting into a bigger world. To possibly meet new friends, make all kinds of new friends, have a fursuit, go to conventions, be this big thing. That drove him nuts. You could see it on his fucking face. And the first time I said about it, I was excited, sharing to him that I was like, people were loving my videos. And his response, good for you. That's good for you then. In that monotone, exact, straight voice. So again, he told me I'm not allowed to kiss my boyfriend in front of him, he says. I'm getting this views and attention and attraction from people. Good for you. That's the fucking proof right there for me to know why he's pissed off. What am I supposed to do? Hide that? Not allowed to kiss my boyfriend in front of him. So that was the big thing. He was upset that my life was no longer the same shitty, miserable life that his was. And that mine was for 10 years before that. And he had to make it stop. So he goes to the admin of that Altoona chat and says, she says, tell me what the skunk did to you. Because she sent me the screenshot after they talked to show me what he was saying and then blocked me. And she's like, and he says, he put a collar on me. No! You wore a collar 24/7. It was in all the fucking YouTube videos after a while when you started wearing it. Our YouTube videos, like we did interviews about our band talking about it. He's wearing the dog collar. He made me drink alcohol. No! Your mother bought you, an underage person, alcohol. You brought it everywhere you went and chugged that fucking shit. I sure as hell did not make you drink any fucking alcohol. Christian knows that. My the husky boyfriend knows that. The other friend I said was cool knows that because they all saw you chugging it down. Ronald McDonald knows that. They all drank. Christian drank. Ronald McDonald drank. His mom would buy it. They all would drink it. Then said I, quote, forced him to do things and he didn't want to talk about it. So I can't even say, quote unquote, what I did. Oh yeah, he said, I drug him upstairs away from his sleeping friend. Now, when we were at my mom's house and that other kid was there, he made me go upstairs with him. Wrapped his leash around me and was pulling me along, and I just walked. I didn't care. I just went with him. I said, oh, you're going to sit on me? Fine. But then he said, this happened at my apartment on New Year's Eve. No, there's no upstairs at my apartment. It was 2 rooms side by side with a bathroom. So that doesn't make sense. That lie doesn't make sense. Doesn't add up. There was no upstairs. On New Year's Eve, when he slept over at my place, no one else was there. So that's when it wasn't just that he didn't remember. He's lying purposefully. That's lying. He's making up lies. Now I know he's lying. Any of you ever think for 2 seconds that it would be this crazy? That it would be this much bullshit involved in this story? It's what happened. And it's never changed once. I've told this to many people. And someone that I knew in junior high, rode the van with, and hope to never see again, personally. I see for the first time in almost 10 years. Last year? End of 2024, I saw this person for like the first time in 8 years, and it's going, hey, he said you raped him. So he's going around that city, oh, he raped me. All he wants is attention. So I'm kicked out of the Altoona chat just because he said this. Then that admin, who always had it out for me for some reason, goes to the Pittsburgh chat and gets me kicked out of there. And that the piece of shit admin of the Pittsburgh chat comes into the chat one day and it's like, guys, we got stuff going on, and mentioned other things, and then said someone in here broke into a miner's home and raped them. What the fuck? How in the fuck did we get to that? Where did the story get that twisted around at the end of the monkey chain to get to that? What the fuck? How does it become that? Because at first, this girl's asking me if I raped this girl and her friends. And friends, plural, like rape multiple people with the husky I'm dating. To then I broke into some miner's house and raped them. What in the fuck? There is no even trying to figure this shit out anymore. And people, why did you just leave and not say anything? That's not a good look. That's not... Why didn't you... Well, first of all, I try to explain shit. I'm too angry, and then people go, it's the worst attempt I've ever heard. And then you're twisting shit around so hard I can't even figure out what the hell I need to deny. Or I need to say that's not true. All I can do is sit here and tell you what happened. I can't sit here and go through all the things that people have said or claimed, because who even knows by this point how much shit's been said about me? I can't address everything you've made up. All I can do is sit here and tell you the truth. And I'll take a polygraph to every fucking thing I say that I've said. Sit me down at a lie detector, hook me up, play these videos back, ask, is this true? Is this true? Is this true? Yes, motherfucking yes. Fuck you. Oh. And this girl posted, she was watching my Fur Affinity account for some reason, and then she posted a drawing of like an angry OC giving the finger that said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you on it. It's like, cunt, you don't even know. You just don't know. You just hear what he's telling you, and that's it, and it's not the truth. And then they went to Furballs together. And took pictures together of just the two of them. Why is nobody batting an eye about a 15-year-old and a 21-year-old? Why is nobody caring about them by 22? He was 22 and she's 15, 16. Nobody cares that they're taking these goo-goo pictures together at the Furball. Posting it on Facebook. Nobody fucking cared. Because it's not about me. It's not about how horrible I am. So just don't even think about that. We're not worried about canceling anybody else. It's just you. I know. Trust me, I know. Did any of you ever think about any of this shit? wow, I had no idea there really was all this crazy shit going on. No, you didn't. No one cared. And I didn't have the ability to tell you. And I tried to make videos explaining this in the past. He went to the courts and shit and had reported it and got me. I had to take it down. So I couldn't tell you. Yes, I get, again, having like Chucky saying you're going to die in the video. That's going to make me have to take it down. It comes off as a threat. Okay, well, all these years later, now you know. Now you fucking know. When you hear that, oh, there was a sexual assault accusation against him, and there's court papers. Okay, just because there's court papers doesn't mean it happened, Doesn't mean anything, He went and reported it, his little story, and I was not told when the hearing was going to be. He wanted to get a restraining order. Like, we're blocked. We have each other blocked. Haven't seen each other in like 3 fucking months. Maybe more. I don't remember. But all of a sudden, oh, you're a restraining order. Because he needed something. He needed something to be able to show people and go, here's a paper. This means, something. And that's enough for everybody on the internet, according to what happened. All people needed to see was a court paper, and nope, it happened. He held them down and raped them with a fucking horse-sized cock. But they did not tell me when the hearing was going to be. I was never made aware. So I missed it. But again, I didn't know how any of this shit works. I'm terrified. I got cops knocking at my fucking door and I didn't do a damn thing. So then, they just send the papers. No, okay. Before the papers are sent to my house, basically, with the, you didn't show up at the hearing, it's automatically in Ugly Monkey Man's favor. Don't talk to him, stay away from him, don't say anything about him. You can't defend your side of the story. The midget meth head wanted me and my boyfriend to drive to the aunt's house. Now, Ugly Monkey Man didn't live there anymore, so I knew he wasn't going to be there. But I went, and I was pissed, because I was always friends with his mom. I found her very funny, very nice, and I genuinely enjoyed her company. But I was pissed, and I told her, you have any idea what he's saying? He's saying this and this and this about me. He's going to fucking court. What? You know this is happening? No. She had no fucking clue. Midget went there to get something that he left there, because he went there often. I don't know. And so I just talked to her for a second, and then we left. Then, after that, I get the paper saying, don't talk to him, don't talk about him, don't... Nothing. But again, me going there and talking to her, a private conversation between two people, that's not against that rule. But his aunt was standing there, the little cunt rat she is. She told him that I came there and talked to his mom. So he uses that as a way to, because he's trying to get me in jail. That's what he's trying to do. That's the end goal. So he goes back to the court. He violated the restraining order. He came to my house and he said something to tell me. I specifically told his mom, do not tell him that I was here, that we talked, nothing. And my ex-boyfriend will tell you that. And the midget method would say that if they were to talk to him. Trust me, you don't want to do that. But yeah. So I get her. So and this, after I've moved in with my boyfriend in an hour away in a different city, into the house he had, cops show up at my mom's house looking for me because they have a warrant for me because I broke the restraining order by going over to his house and telling his mom to tell him a message, which is not fucking true. Told her not to tell him I was even remotely there. Nothing. There was no tell him nothing. It was, do you know that he's doing this? Do you know that he's said this about me? Do you know that he's trying to do this court shit? And she had no idea. I wanted to know, do you know this? Like, you've known me for 8 years. Best friends with your kid. I've lived here. So, and I go to a hearing then for that, and it's like, It was literally, there is no proof, obviously, so it's hearsay. It was literally a judgment. Now, looking back, it would have, the judge would have just not given a fuck. But I'm terrified. I have the whole world coming at me here. I go, and it's either, if the judge decides that I did, they never told me either what I said, what I allegedly said. They never said, this is the message he claims you told his mom to tell him. Like, it was as if it was, like, that it was like a threatening message, but never told me what it was. I didn't. It was, the judge was either going to find that I did say some sort of threatening message and get 6 months in jail, or decide to just, or to not give a consequence and to, I don't know, either I did or I didn't. So it was either 6 months or nothing, and just a slap to go, look, I don't want to see you two again, kind of thing, And I'm terrified. So I'm like, okay, how can I not just lean my freedom on a decision of the judge? Now, this judge was actually a nice guy, so I think looking back, it just would have been whatever. He wouldn't have given me nothing, or he would have just been like, look, don't talk to each other. But I'm terrified, and I'm like, I'll take a plea, a guilty plea, which is basically, you did it, but you're not getting any time, pay a fee, and be on your merry way. So whatever's on my record from that situation is not that I raped him, that I did anything to him. It's just me deciding to just say that I did it to avoid any actual jail time and just pay a fine. That's what it is. That's what happened. And so that was the end of it for a while. And of course, him and that girl, Ugly Monkey Man and the girl, get to go online, go, he did this, he did that, he's a rapist, he's evil, here's the court papers, look, here's and I can't say anything. And it surprisingly, as I got bigger, as my YouTube channel grew, as I got a full fursuit, as I was making more friends, it never came back up. But I knew one day it would. I knew, because, they can't, people can't move on in their life. The whole goal originally was to ruin my reputation as Rex. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't do shit on my own that ruined my reputation because of my fucking autistic, toxic behavior. But being toxic and raping someone are certainly two different things. You want to call me toxic, because I am toxic. But I sure as fuck didn't rape nobody. Now, when I made a video, because I had seen that she was still, because she never let it go. Like, I don't know, all women hate me, but this girl really fucking would, and it's just crazy to think that it really is unjustified, because she had no fucking clue that was if what he was saying was true, that, that I was such an asshole to him, when she doesn't fucking know that. She doesn't know that. She just sees this end. We've already been over this. So she's still going on about it online. I'm this, I'm that, I'm a rapist and all this. I tried to make a video about the situation and explain what, as I'm doing now. But I couldn't do it without couldn't properly speak the way I am now. Or if I'm still not properly speaking, it's still damn sure better than before. And I had these clips from movies in it, which were the only reason it was taken down, as I was told. Like, having those threatening Chucky scenes and shit in the video mixed in made it seem like a threat to him, and it had to be taken down. So he goes to the court, and he's saying about me. So I gotta go back, and his dork dweeb fucking bowl cut fucking dork fucking idiot retard lawyer, he definitely got a free lawyer. He's like, it's because of the Chucky, and it's threatening, and now, and I don't know how this shit works. I'm just showing up. I'm not being told you can have a public defender, you can have someone in your, I don't know that. So I'm sitting there, and the judge goes, literally, just because you're representing yourself doesn't mean, you're gonna get special treatment. I'm like, fucking excuse me? Oh, that cunt! You think it's on purpose? Who said I'm representing myself? I don't know what that even means. I'm just here. I got a letter in the mail. I gotta be here. I'm here. Okay. Thanks for, I'm sure as hell not getting any special treatment. I know that. Everything's gonna be completely against me, and that's the end of it. So why are we even wasting anybody's time? And they try, like, I don't remember what the fucking lawyer tried to say could be done where we each don't say anything about the other. And I went and tried to repeat what he said, and I just sounded like an idiot as it all fell apart. I'm trying to repeat what he said to where neither of us should be able to say anything about each other. And I should have just stood up and said, you know what? He can say whatever he wants about me. He can do anything he wants, and if I retaliate and try to share my side in any way whatsoever, I'm gonna be put in the fucking 6 feet under in a cage, key thrown away. Let's just wasting everybody's time. That's what it's gonna be. Why bother? Why are we here? That's what it should have just said, But so it just goes back to, don't say anything about him. You're gonna be in trouble, and he can do whatever he wants. And the day, very shortly after that, while people are at Anthrocon, but contrary to what somebody has claimed, I've never been to Anthrocon, and thank you. People at Anthrocon are harassing me over Telegram. They're there, but they're worrying about me. I wasn't there. They're there. They're messaging me. That makes sense. It must be really on your mind. And they're showing me papers that obviously Ugly Monkey Man took a photo of. I see his big fat hairy hand over his dirty truck steering wheel. His proof of court papers existing. Again, that's not proof that I raped you. It's that you went and bitched and cried and got a paper for it. And they're like, see, and this person, is like, see, you raped this person. You're sexual assault. This is proof. That's not proof! That's not proof! But okay, you don't know the situation, but say what you want. Believe it just because you don't like me. And when, you say someone that, when someone you like has an accusation against them, that's how it is in the furry community. It depends on how many friends you have, how big you are. Someone says something about you, and we're going off no proof. Someone says something about you with no proof, depending on, if you're friends with somebody, how many friends they got, then they're going to automatically say, well, that's bullshit. That's not true. But if you don't like the person, it's got to be true. Because you want something negative about that person you don't like to be true. Duh! People literally just not even think about their own psyche like that. They don't think about that factor. So, now I can't say anything once more, still. He's still going around saying it. The stupid cunt girl's going around saying shit. It's just really on my fucking dick. She always was. Man, oh man. Have you not talked to somebody in 5 fucking years and just still making a daily post? Rex is a predator. A predator? Oh my god. Here we go. Break out the usual vocabulary that this generation is so obsessed with. Jesus wept. So, but that's the end of it. Now you know. So when someone says Rex sexually assaulted somebody, send this video to find out the truth. I didn't do it. I didn't do what he certainly didn't do what he said I was. It was a somewhat complicated situation. But I fucking told you what happened. So now you know. So that was always something, and it was never brought up directly by that many people. But once I was having fights with pieces of shit in the Pittsburgh furry area, they latched onto that like a fucking lifeline. And they already didn't like me, so it's automatically true. And there's court papers, so it's automatically true. That's what that means. And there were never any court papers that were like, we find this happened. Because there was no hearing for if it happened or not. Because I missed it. The papers were to not talk to each other, to say, or me to not talk or say anything about him, or that I apparently had a message said to send a message to him, which I didn't. Imagine that. Pretty crazy, isn't it? That, you know, you talk shit about me, say all this shit about me, and you feel so confident it's true, and here's the truth, it's fucking not. So yeah. Now, last thing, that girl always, the only thing, because you didn't have anything. You didn't have anything to proof about me. But she would share these screenshots. Now, she watched my Fur Affinity page. And I commissioned this Pepe Le Pew story and posted it on my Fur Affinity page. So she saw it. I don't know why she was following me. I asked her, too, and she said, I don't know. I said, why are you following me on there? I'm going to post furry fart porn. Why are you following me? I don't know. And you're a kid. I'm an adult. I don't know. And she would draw boobs and post them, and she was underage. And I went to tell Fur Affinity that, and they go, we need proof of her age, not screenshots. When it said in her bio what her age was, and I showed them the screenshot of her bio that said her age, and they didn't care. How else? Who would falsely put their age in there? Who would put a kid's age in their bio if they weren't a kid? And how you want me to get her fucking birth certificate? How am I gonna have that? That's a L for Fur Affinity mod team, but okay. She made these screenshots saying that I asked her to draw this Pepe Le Pew story. Now, this is the thing. Back then, this is before you could set... you couldn't set people's... You couldn't set accounts to a specific picture. You couldn't change someone else's picture or change someone else's name. Maybe you could name, I don't know, but not picture. So when an account was deleted, it was the ghost icon. It's still the ghost icon. It says deleted account. It's not still... I don't know if you delete account, if an account gets deleted, if it's still the custom picture you sent for them or not. Maybe it is. I don't know. But if I've deleted an account, because I deleted my Telegram account back after a while, I made a new one, it would have been the ghost icon. She was sharing these screenshots saying I'm asking her to draw this adult story, but every time it popped back up that she was sharing these screenshots, the background was different. Her screensaver wallpaper was different, but yet it still had the Doggett icon that I had commissioned, like the very first fucking art. The second art, I think it was the second art piece I ever had commissioned, and Rex the Skunk is the name. But the account's deleted. How would it still be that if the account's deleted? It would be the ghost icon and say deleted account. That doesn't make sense. And you're taking new screenshots every time you want to share it, and your wallpaper's different. That doesn't make sense, does it? It's so yeah. If you're sharing, first of all, I don't know why you would need to take new screenshots. If you have everybody these days, when they love their canceling, they cancel somebody, post beware on somebody every fucking week, and they got, I'm sure, a screenshot folder on their phone, thousands of images or screenshots. Why would you you delete them? Because you're going to share them to everybody you meet to make sure everybody stays away from me. Why would you need to take new screenshots of these apparent messages? Seems to me she had someone make a fake Telegram account, put my the generic Rex icon and name as the Rex Skunk is the name, have these messages, and then whenever she wanted to go took new screenshots of these fake typed up messages. And just dumped the story. I'm like, who the fuck would I dump the story? So, yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it? So the only thing she could ever share about me was that because she would say, he's evil, he's a predator, he's a rapist, and then nothing other than just these screenshots that I asked her to write this adult story. But every time she shared it, the screenshots, or the new screenshot she took, the screensaver was different. Like, I remember one of, space, and then one of just the regular Telegram background. Because I always see them, and that was the only thing she ever had. Predator. Gotta throw the word predator in there. Make it sound extra bad. Use the word predator. How? Predator what? How? Where? What supports that word being used? Nothing. It just sounds scary, so we gotta throw it in there. Oh, man. I don't know. That cunt rode my fucking back she just could never let it go. She just could never move on. And I am Ugly Monkey Man, of course, can't, like, he's gonna go till he's 99 and going, yeah, rape me, apparently. Like, people out in the city telling me he's going around saying it. And take off the fucking Slipknot shirts. You're not a Slipknot fan. Nothing disgusts me more than fake Slipknot fans. It sickens me because they've saved my life. They've helped me when I came home from school, bullied by everyone, told by everyone to go cut myself. Nothing helped me more than going into my fucking room, putting on my homemade aluminum foil Slipknot mask, and blasting People Equal Shit and Disaster Piece as hard as I possibly could. I've been a fan of them for more of my life than I haven't been at this point. Take off the fucking Slipknot shirts. I'm sure you just heard Custer on TikTok went in a Hot Topic and grabbed a shirt. Fucking fake cunt. We are not your kind. That's something that bothers me personally. I am very protective over that band. They're just you know, one of those things, like a lifeline to me. I hate fakers. You know, obviously I wore Slipknot shirts. And I saw a couple of years ago by this point, just her in a Slipknot shirt with the paws up, like I used to always do with my, like, can you copy me anymore? And I think it's just to irritate me, you know, obviously definitely not an actual Slipknot fan. But yeah, I'm going to wrap things up. For anybody who thinks that, you know, I'm a rapist, you hear this story, you know, obviously, I'm not stupid. Everything I say here is going to be declared false. It's a lie. Because you don't like me, so obviously everything I say is not true. And anything negative about me is fact, because you don't like me. I'm not trying to come back. I don't have my fursuit anymore. I'm not trying to regain anything. I'm just not going to my grave without the truth being out. Why would I need to come here and defend? I'm not defending, or like, I'm defending myself, but I'm not like trying to get people's minds changed. I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm just putting the truth out there, so it's just there. It's not like I'm trying to come back and make videos again and be in the community. I'm not. So what fucking purpose would I have to do this? I waited like years. So why the fuck would I lie? I've always told the same exact thing I've always told the same sequence of events with this, on this topic. It's always been the same. When I had to tell somebody about it, it's always been the same exact fucking thing, word for word. And it'll never change because it's the fucking truth. But him, I don't remember now all the things he said, but I would hear what he said to people, and I would see screenshots, and his story changed. It drives me nuts. I don't remember how it changed, but the rape occurrence, how he said it, it changed like 3 times. He was changing his fucking story actively, and no one cared. No one caught on. No one cares. But that's the end of it. Fuck you. Yeah. You know, there's like 1,400 people subscribed here. I'm sure the 80% of them subscribed 3 years ago and forget and don't exist even on their account anymore. But people that, you know, follow me or are following this account and care, if people do care about me for some reason, you know, I appreciate it and thank you. I don't know where I'm at in life. I'm just on autopilot. Who cares? You know, I don't fucking care. Now, you know, I'm sorry it's not the cute, squeaky rubber duck fursuit Rex the Skunk on here anymore, and I'm sorry. And you know, and if the way I'm talking in these vlogs and coming and aggressive is frightening, I'm sorry. That's not what I like. It's not what I want to do, you know, and I'm sorry. It's just, you know, people said these things about me, and you know, I want the truth to be known. And I'm not that person anymore. That's the thing, is I'm not the cute, bubbly, fluffy. That's been sucked out of me, you know. I have a vacuum that's been just sucked, drained right out. It's gone. That's not me anymore. That's dead. Goodbye.
Now, the next thing people are going to do is try to claim that I'm transphobic because I will not refer to Ugly Monkey Man as she. Now, the reason for that is because I know that the transgender thing with that person is fake. It was a way to create sympathy. They wanted to, like, wanting to dress like a girl and actually saying I'm a girl is, two different things. I mean, you can be whatever you want, dress however you want. It's all good. But I believe with this person who actively made fun of trans people, called people that were trans it and things multiple times, multiple different people throughout when I knew him. Can't just go, oh, I'm trans now. They quickly picked up on that, when you're trans, nobody questions it, because if they do, they're attacked and called transphobic. If, you get all the love and sympathy in the world, if you just say you're trans on a Reddit post or a Twitter post, and I've seen these myself, I start my estrogen today. Everybody, thousands of comments. Oh, sweetie, good for you. Congratulations, baby. Welcome to the club. Well, and on and on and on. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Just saying that's, easy, that's you. Everybody loves you. There is no, well, can you prove that you're trans, or can you, no one's questioning it. What made you want to do this decision? And, it's not my community, I guess. So I don't, I'm not versed in all that. But I just know, because I know this person. We lived together, friends for 8 or 9 years together every fucking night, sleepovers, up at night for 10 hours straight, just talking. It's like I know this person inside out. It's fake. It's not real. They just are doing it as a way to, not be the ugly caveman, mountain man, beard guy anymore, and then be a girl that now everybody can get love and love and sympathy from everybody. And if you question it, you're a piece of shit. You're transphobic because you're questioning it. And I'm not transphobic. I would date a trans person. I would sleep with a trans person. I would marry a trans person. I was in a band with a trans person. They were fired because they were smoking meth. Why are so many people doing meth? You got Ugly Midget, you got Mike, and then that trans person I used to be friends with. Everybody's smoking meth. But, yeah, so I'm not transphobic. Because you can't be you can't say someone's transphobic when I'm fucking telling you that I've done sexual things with trans people in the past. Don't have a problem with it. I do get curious as to when I see, because I'm autistic, I'm curious. I get curious when I see someone who is a guy and has always been a guy and always is he and never thinks anything of it, and then all of a sudden their bio just out of the blue one day, just out of nowhere, she, they. It's like, huh? Okay, sure. I mean, for whatever you want, it's just out of the blue. It's like everybody now. It's like you have to do that. It's like you have to do that now. That's what it feels like. That's what it seems like. But I could care less. Do what you want to do. I'm fine with being a guy and having a dick, and that's probably offensive to people. And then they came up with that cis thing, which to me sounds like a slur for like, how dare you not also be trans with us? But no, I do not believe that Ugly Monkey Man is transgender. I won't refer to him as that. Sorry. When you relentlessly, for years, go at somebody the ways that they did, and lie, and try to rip someone down, things they didn't even do, especially when the one knows everything I did for them. You really expect them not to just eventually snap, Poke the bear, poke the bear, poke the bear. It's going to turn around and it's going to fucking it's going to come at you. And I think nobody ever thinks that. No one ever thinks, like, oh, la-di-da-di-da. Go about my life till the end of time. Nothing will ever come of all the things that I've done, and all the things that I've said, and all the shit that I pulled, and the lies that I told. I don't know. It's here. I just told you. I just told everybody. That's what really happened. Now you know. So wipe the sexual assault. Get that out of here. You want to say things about me that I did and why I'm not around. There should be, there should be enough reasons. There should be enough real, true reasons with evidence. If, you're so certain, you shouldn't have to make things up. But people make things up. That's the weird thing. No one can say things confidently with proof. All they can do is make things up, because clearly there's not things that I did. There was toxic behavior, and I'll get to that in another video. But nothing to still be in servers talking shit about me 6 months later, or 4 years later. Nothing worth that. Nothing worth still going on about me because you just can't get me out of your head, as if I was literally fucking Hitler. Talking about him 80 years later, whatever. I'm still talking about me. My God, for what? It's just crazy. But everything comes together in the end.